speaking of sucks, Captain Marvel. The sequel is in the works and could have a new writer and director. The writer apparently is Megan McDonald or McDonald. McDonald. Writer for WandaVision and looking for a female director as well, allegedly, which wouldn't surprise me because Captain Marvel is more about girl power than it is about making a good movie. Not that this might not end up being a good movie, but it's obvious that they are being...
Captain Marvel was very lackluster.
That's being kind.
Yeah.
That movie was bad.
Yeah.
Visually was not good.
It was
Acting was not good.
Made over $1 billion.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Some people didn't know. But you know what? I actually think it only made $1 billion because it came out just before Endgame.
Oh, if Endgame came out first, I would have been dead.
So, like, I think that there was a lot of hype going into that shit. Simply because people thought that maybe it would be a tie-in, maybe get a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
A lot of people were fucking amped up for that. We'll actually see if it can make $1 billion by just being a movie in itself. And I'm not sure it will. I actually am not sure it will.
Especially
I can
because
see it
that
making
last movie was
700.
lackluster.
I can see it making $700-800 million.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it has the legs and the fandom to get to $1 billion. I really don't. And even in Endgame and even in Captain Marvel, I actually don't think Captain Marvel made a big enough impact fan base wise or had a too big of a scene or a moment within that to really get people on board. The Captain Marvel that we got, even in the solo movie, not only was the story kind of meh, but the character herself was very dull, was very closed off. You couldn't really root for her or get, behind this. There was no emotional attachment to the character like you got in all of the other origin stuff.
You know what the only good part of that entire movie was? Her best friend with her daughter.
Yeah, the black chick.
That's the only part of the whole movie that was good.
Yeah.
Everything else
there was
about
heart
that movie is shit.
Yeah.
She is what's her name again? Fucking played Wonder Woman. Oh, not Wonder Woman. Sorry,
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Bad actor.
You know what? She's not.
In this movie.
In this movie.
Her
other movies?
Fine.
She's great.
Yeah. This movie specifically, for whatever reason,
she's great.
She did not a good job.
I don't
know if it was the writing.
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
But it was bad. It was poorly delivered. She was abrasive.
Yeah.
And it made it difficult to connect with the character. I just didn't give a shit about Captain Marvel through the entire movie.
Yeah.
Even when they were the moments where you're supposed to connect with Captain Marvel, I didn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was the writing or what, but her acting for that movie was not good.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Maybe we'll see when she comes into her character a bit more. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure it hits $1 billion. I'm going to call out and say it doesn't.
I'm saying 7.
That's what I'm saying. Between $700 and $800 million bucks, which is still a success. But I guess in 2022 or whatever, movies basically are successful Marvel movies now is $1 billion or not. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not excited for it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm over superhero movies. I'm just going to keep that.
Well, that's the other part of this equation.
I had my Endgame, and
here's the interesting thing about Captain Marvel is that, like you said, she was part of that Endgame hype, but she didn't really make any major impact that would make fans outside of her solo film. And now that Endgame is done, she gets to come out and try and make another movie after Endgame, and everyone's kind of just breathed out on the superhero shit, and now you're going to bring back a character that was only this to begin with.
Well, Kevin Feige wanted her to be the face, sort of be the leader of the next Avengers, right? So,
yikes.
Yeah. So we'll see if they. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that's going to go down the way it is because it's all going to depend on how well received this next film is and how big it is and shit like that.
I can't wait to see how ham-fisted third wave
I'm
feminist
all for,
shit
I'm
is
all
going to
for
be in
X-Men
that
now.
movie.
I'm pumped for X-Men because
all in on X-Men.
I think X-Men isn't going to be as grand, isn't going to be as big. I think it's going to be simpler, more contained. We'll be able to get new characters and start a new journey. And I feel like with Endgame, I got the payoff. It was perfectly done, in my opinion. It was a great journey. And I'm willing to just let all that go. I don't want to redo that journey again. And I don't want to go through the same tropes with new characters and do the whole thing over again. I just don't. I'm over it. If they come out, which they are, it's inevitable, I'll go see them. But it's hard for me to get excited about it now.
Yeah.
I'm just.
They're gonna have to be even better than the last round.
Yeah.
To keep your excitement on there, because that was like a 10-year
dude
commitment.
Yeah.
And so
And it worked.
you almost get
And
exhausted
it worked.
just thinking about it.
I mean, when do you get that type of payoff where it actually works?
Not often.
How many people out there legitimately were upset and are pissed off or feel unfulfilled after Endgame?
I don't know anyone personally.
I actually don't know anyone.
It's about as good as you could hope to try and wrap up that
It's
many
almost
threads.
perfect. It's literally almost perfect. Some little small things that happen in the movie that'd be like, okay, maybe they could have done it this way. But ultimately, at the end, we got Infinity War, amazing.
Yeah.
Which I even liked more than Endgame. But even still, Endgame was a perfect bow. You don't hear this divisive talk amongst fans,
No.
Marvel fans, that Endgame did it wrong. It was a payoff. It's done. I'm content.
Which is why I'm so lukewarm on the Black Widow movie.
Oh, I'm the same way.
Like she was part of that experience. It's weird to me that anyone that was a part of that experience would even still be progressed as characters in solo films after Endgame, especially this close to the release of Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, and especially one that's been there since like midway the series
She's
or
dead.
whatever.
She's dead.
Well, I mean, like, but she's been Black Widow for a long time now.
Dude, what it is?
This isn't like Captain Marvel at the very end
this is
that
money.
showed up and now it makes sense. This is
money.
well, I know what it is.
It's all money.
But it's just
it's all money. It's all money.
And I still
Hey,
think Black Widow,
hey,
that movie, I think it's going to be fucking a snooze fest
I do too.
from beginning
I'm not
to end.
interested in it, but you know what? It'll probably do well because
Yeah, it will.
it's
Scarlett
Marvel. And it's
Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
So it is what it is.
I think it's going to be a snooze fest in 3/4.